Hi, my name's Amanda and I am a student studying psychology at UNE. In this video, I want to talk to you about some self-management strategies to reduce or eliminate swearing behaviour. So we're going to kick right off and get straight into that. The first thing that you need to do when implementing any self-management strategy is just decide that this is something that you definitely want to do and be committed to the process. From that point on, you need to define the behaviour that it is that you want to change. So in this example, where you're going to try and eliminate or reduce swearing behaviour, you're going to define really clearly what specific swear words you wish to eliminate from your vocabulary. This is really important so that you know when you've had a success or when you've failed, because you know which words constitute the swearing that you're targeting. The next thing that you need to do is set some really clear goals around what you want to do in terms of reducing or eliminating behaviour over time. So if it was to eliminate a particular target word, you might set a time frame to do that within a month. If it was to reduce the swearing, you need to be able to define that. So whether that is to reduce the words from 100 per day to 20 per day, or whether it was to reduce the swearing so that it only comes out in certain social situations. You need to just make sure that you're really clear about what it is that you're trying to achieve. From then on in, you need to make sure that you are able to record your swearing activity. This is best done on a data recording sheet, which has some titles on it that include the date, the time, the location, the people present, the things that happened before you said the swear word, so the antecedents, and the things that happened after you said the swear word. So the consequences of that swearing behaviour. From there, you need to be able to record exactly the amount of swearing behaviour and the context around that behaviour for a baseline period. I would suggest about a week to make sure that you are capturing fully every social situation that you might be in week to week, and you have the chance to, through this process, identify what are your high risk situations for swearing, what are the common antecedents for that behaviour, so the things that happen beforehand that prompt the behaviour, and what are the consequences for that behaviour. So if you are swearing and people laughing at you, is that possibly reinforcing the behaviour and you're leveraging off that and swearing more? From that point on, you need to introduce some strategies to decrease your swearing behaviour. So over the baseline recording period, it may have reduced because you are becoming aware of your swearing behaviour, but following that, we want to get to our goal and further reduce or eliminate the behaviour. So some strategies that you can implement at this point include the following. First of all, there's a breathing exercise. So that's related to swearing in that this might help you relax around a strong antecedent condition so that is like a high risk situation. So it might be a stressful situation that you enter, but before you enter it, you use this breathing exercise to help you calm down and refocus. That can be as simple as a deep breath in and letting that out really slowly so that you're able to relax and calm yourself down and think clearly about the situation. The breathing could also be used to replace the use of a swear word in a situation. So instead of swearing, you take a deep breath in the situation and then let it out. Another strategy to use is to replace the target words or the swear words that you've identified with an alternative word that is okay to say in the particular situation. That word could evoke some humour so that you're more encouraged to use it. And a useful tip is to use words that start with the same sound or the same letter as the swear words that you're trying to reduce or eliminate. What's really key about this procedure, which is known as a competing behaviour, is to ensure that you rehearse it before you're in the situation so that those words come easily to you instead of the swear words that you've become used to using in those situations. And another strategy to help you reduce your swearing behaviour and using those target words is to use some awareness prompts. So they're like little notes that you will put around for yourself. You put them in an easy to access location such as your computer screen or the dashboard of your car that just say things like, I don't need to swear today, or swearing is ugly. Things that will make you think about the context of the situation that you're entering and the fact that you're going to be alert and possibly use some of your strategies to prevent you using those particular target words in the situation. Another strategy that's helpful is to use social support in your swearing elimination project or swearing elimination thing that you're setting out to do. By that I mean getting a group of people together, either in person or over social media, explaining to them what you're trying to do really clearly, also explaining to them what you're asking their help with in the situation, so whether that's just to provide encouragement or to prompt you, and to create opportunities for them to provide the feedback that you're asking them to give. So if it's a social media platform, you want to make sure you're having regular updates on that platform so people can see the progress and how you're tracking towards your goal. One really important part of behavior modification of any kind is to reward yourself when you get to those goals that you've set out to achieve, or as you reach mini goals that you set out as part of your strategy. So when you're rewarding yourself, think of rewards that are easy to access, that are not time consuming and not too expensive, because you want to be able to use them whenever it's appropriate, and you don't want expense or time to be a barrier in doing that. Otherwise they won't be available and effective in reducing the behavior that you're targeting. So in this case, a particular swear word. You need to be clear about when you're going to use those rewards. So it could be, in the case of reducing or eliminating swearing, if you have a day without swearing, then that's when you can have that reward. Or if you're a chronic swearer and normally you swear 100 times a day, you might set times where you would implement the reward as it reduced significantly. So maybe if you only swore 50 times that day, you would implement the reward. Whichever it is, you just need to make sure that it's consistent and that you adjust it as needed to continue to reap the reward of using the reward. A final thing that could be mentioned here is you could use a punishment for your swearing behaviour, although it's best to use strategies that are more positive, like rewards and like those kind of antecedent prompts, so that you're thinking about your swearing. But if you find that you need to use a punisher, a good thing to use could be a small financial penalty, like the use of a swear jar. You just want to make sure that at the end of the time period, you're not then collecting and keeping the swear jar money, because it acts then as a reward. You need to be committed to handing that swear jar money over to some other person or some other thing. So it might be a charity, or it might be one of the people that are keeping you accountable. After you've gone for a period of time implementing the strategies that you choose to implement from that list, you need to be able to reassess and reevaluate. If you're managing to meet your goals, congratulations. What you need to do here is just implement a maintenance strategy, just to make sure you're staying on top of that behavior you're trying to reduce or eliminate. Your maintenance strategy could be as simple as extending the period for which you will earn a reward for a particular goal. So instead of not swearing for a day, it might be if you do 5 days in a row without using your target word, you get a reward, or a different kind of reward if you think that it necessitates that. Or it might be that after a month of not swearing, you get a bigger reward. You should also be feeding this back to your social support group so they can join in and congratulating you. If you're finding that you're struggling to get to your goal, it's where you might need to tweak your strategies. So it might be that you haven't rehearsed your replacement words enough to remember them in a situation. So you might need to get down on in and rehearse those words a few more times, or even change the words if they're not coming to you easily. Anyway, I wish you all every success with the elimination or reduction of your swearing behaviour, and I thank you for listening to my video.